I beat the story of 3.4 yesterday. I didn't watch this animation before doing it. This will be a rewatch because I loved it. Like, my blind reaction to this video will be included in the actual playthrough of 3.4 because obviously it was a part of that moment. They used this. I expected it to be some cute animation of Phainon's past, and then by the time, like, gradually as you reach this moment in story, it's like, no way in hell. There's no way it can be that easy. And no, it wasn't. The music choice makes it feel like something from Devil May Cry. It's the kind of music I'd listen to outside of this. I've already, like, I want it on my phone. I want this on my phone. It's the kind of music I listen to with my mum and some of the people who were around me when I was a little kid. When they'd listen to music, I'd just overhear it, and it was insane. Seeing Phainon stand here against the destruction, all that built-up wrath, all the build towards it, and the fact that this morning there was a little thing I got, because obviously I have Phainon on my account, I got a text from him. You know how you get the in-game messages that imply that he messaged us before he set off to do this fight. And when you try and respond, it's out of signal range, you can't reply to him. It's incredible how much he's put on the line, and the fact that his wrath alone let him leave Amphorius. So hopefully we'll see him come back, especially considering I want to see him absolutely curbing Lygus.
I brought you destruction!
Attaboy! And him fighting Zephyr as well. Easily the most devastating Ravager we've heard of. The one who has the reputation of having the most power. Like, come on. Seeing this guy work. Oh, this music. Like, I don't think you could ever tell me that I'd get sick of seeing or hearing this. The smile. He just goes absolutely feral. Back when I watched this blind, I was confused why he ended up shirtless. You know, whatever you want, I guess. The expressions, though. His expressions are so guttural throughout. Like, just look. The delight in the absolute carnage he's committing to. And you can't really blame him. This is literally his break moment. How do you... I don't think there's a single person who could claim they could not empathize at least somewhat where he's coming from. After everything he's been put through, he finally gets to cut loose. Would it take the form of something like this? No. But I've seen people probably, like, kick at their family members' cars and stuff out of anger. So am I surprised that this guy could kick at someone he hates? No. This feels like a Devilman crybaby, like, moment. That little scene of red there. That. It's just so good. The colour contrast, everything. Hi! This is the worst matchup, and I'm sad. He gives it his bloody best, but he is not winning. Let's go. And the idea, the lyric association with falling higher, that is literally his ascent into destruction. He is falling into a position higher than he currently is. It's not a descent, though. He got the worst matchup he possibly could have. I think if it was any other Lord Ravager, he would have stood way more of a chance, and I would have been happier for it. But he had to lose here. Off goes the arm. It's also neat to now know that the glow in him, that gold, is all the core flames or Nanook's golden blood being made a specific point of. Let's go. But notice this isn't enough. And it never will be. And this calls back in a way to Honkai at third, because the way that Kevin Khaslana is described as Icarus, he will fly to show that people could. What's this guy doing? We literally have him falling on his wings here after being cut down. But he will try at least one more time. And hopefully, again and again until there's something better. Look at that! You can see all of the dead versions of all the Chrysaors repeatedly. Or at least that's the way it kind of comes across. Like, there's a Goliath. All that golden blood. Incredible moment, and he's still smirking. But we see him get a cut on the destruction. His spite is enough. Let me just go back there, because I noticed something really sad. Pretty sure that there is a Goliath with Cypher resting her head against her. Like, you can just see the corpses of everyone repeatedly strewn around here. You can see what is likely Treeby's headband. And he won't just let that be. Attaboy. Cuts off his own wing to go for it. This is so fun. Like, you can see Amphorius in the distance there. All it is a simulation, yet he's able to leave and do this. Go on, boy. He gets a cut off. The fact he could do anything to Nanook, to me, is a victory. He may not have won this fight, but he won the war in a way. He made his point. Oh, that guy. Now the hope is he comes back. Like, the wound will heal. But the fact he did it at all, like, even Nanook acknowledges it. And as he should. Like, come on, who could pull that? They put honor on our boy's name. Oh. And back into rebirth he goes. So the implication is he'll eventually be born again into Amphorius. Oh.
My wish? My wish is to fulfill everyone else's wishes.
Or is it symbolic of his desire? Like, we see him here in the field, so I'd assume he's actually going to be reborn.
Then send them on to tomorrow.
Boy. Eventually he'll be born again there. Like, come on. They put respect on our boy's name. And I had a conversation that I think really speaks a lot. The comparison between Phainon / Khaslana and Kevin Khaslana and the journey that they took. Both of them, their existence by the end is absolute suffering. I'd say the one thing that makes me wince even more at the idea of what, you know, Phainon goes through is the fact he has to repeatedly kill the people he loves. But both of them ended up cold. Both of them ended up distant. Both of them were fighting relentlessly for an outcome that everyone else wanted. Not because they wished for it, but because they almost inherited the wish of others. Phainon more willingly took that on and wanted to be the hero, while Kevin never did. He never wanted to be a hero. He just wanted to protect one person. So the difference is, one of them's own desires led to the outcome, while the other, it was their desire to fulfill other people's wishes. Either way, though, both of them were brought on this journey because of love. In Phainon, it's a case of the love for the people he treasures. In Kevin's case, it's love he had for the person he wanted to be with for good. And it led to both of them stealing themselves, almost killing what made them human, and going as far as they possibly could, or even further, to an outcome that they didn't know was going to work out, but they had to anyway. Doing everything that was necessary. Giving more than what they possibly would have ever thought they could have before to the cause. This, it's so nice as someone who has played third, who cried repeatedly over third. I cried over Kevin Khaslana more times than I could count, and it's one of the characters that brings me the most heartache, but also the most pride when I think to, like, this is how I spent a moment of my life interpreting a story and the impact it's had on a person. Because even if, I think the whole point of Kevin's character was that everyone can be that hero. Kiana is basically the best outcome of that situation, but Kevin is a person who didn't want to be a hero but became one anyway. Anyone is able to do that. In a way. Can everyone do what, these characters have done, even if they were in the same shoes? Probably not. But the fact is, the potential always exists. And I think that it's always been a really grounded story that the hero of the story never thought themselves capable of it. And neither of them are portrayed as heroes in the, sense of, the knight in shining armor that has no flaw. Both of them are incredibly flawed, and that's why it's so good. He had to walk destruction over and over, and at the very least, he wanted to use it against the things he hated. So when Lygus eventually is, what we're probably going to be facing, let Phainon come just to absolutely screw him over. I love that Phainon got the last laugh when it came to speaking to that guy, but let him beat the hell out of him, please. The music is just so good for this. The whole moment is just incredible, though. A part of me wonders how the hell they're gonna top this, though. For me and for anyone who cares about third, this is pinnacle. Acheron's was incredible, but this actually beats it out as a culmination, because Acheron's material, in a way, lean on third a lot, don't get me wrong. But this feels like a genuine build-up to victory. The point of Penacony wasn't just about Acheron, though. There was more to it than her story and the story of the characters around her. It was a journey that outlasted way beyond her. She was carrying one person's wish who had immense value in that situation. And her impact is definitely significant. Things wouldn't have turned out the way they did if she had not been there. But this is literally Phainon facing up to this over and over again. It's his journey. He's not a guest who turned up. He was there the entire time, suffering. So to see him be able to at least spit in the face of Nanook, maybe it's metaphoric, of course, but getting that cut, to me, is basically the same as spitting in his face. And the fact he got that, after everything he's gone through, and even now, the implication be that he's going to be born again and do it again, is awesome to me. I think that the outcome of this story is going to lean more on Serene, the fact that we're, finally getting to interact with her as herself. The fact that a version of Serene is on the path resonance of remembrance. And then there's, of course, March, who now is implied to have been tied to Amphorius and was the mother that Orynyx referred to. Who is March? What position led to her having such an impact on the Titan representing time and Amphorius? And why did she disappear? Remembrance is going to be the way that this world is probably saved. But even Remembrance is a concern, because March was shown to be potentially used. It's memory that drove Phainon to do this. The fact he treasured his experience so much that led to him going on the path of destruction. And it took Serene on a completely different path. She took the path of Remembrance. What's the outcome of those two journeys? And can Amphorius exist as something better? Like, my hope is the ending of Amphorius is no longer a simulation, it's potentially even a mimetic space created by the Remembrance. Because how else do you keep all these memories? We even see Remembrance almost physically taking a hold at times in the destroyed buildings and stuff. Remembrance is already there. And Remembrance, at least, even if I don't trust its garden, it's going to be better than whatever this is. But then what becomes of Iron Tomb? Are they actually going to successfully kill Iron Tomb? Because that would mean the destruction of that scepter, and I do hope that Phainon gets to do that. It'd be fun. Like, he keeps trying to breach it. We saw it in the game's story. If you look through the logs, there are so many times he attempts to breach the course of the scepter and just fails and fails. So who's going to attain that result? Because Phainon seems unable to do that. Destruction alone doesn't allow for that. Because that's the outcome that needs to happen. That scepter needs to go. And the fact that the scepter itself is ascending into an emanator of destruction, and Phainon can step out of that as almost the construct of that emanator is everything. The fact that he is both the reason that it could be born and the reason it could die. Regardless of what they do, it's going to be incredible. And this world gives us, in my opinion, the best look at an XP that we've seen. Phainon and Serene currently I can't really speak on much because we haven't seen much of her. But Phainon as an XP of Kevin has the same progression. Doesn't lean too much on who he is. They built up Phainon enough where we treasured him as himself. And he stands alone from Kevin Khaslana. Phainon / Khaslana is his own impactful character. Just like they did with Acheron. And I'm hoping they can do this in the future again.